من المجابهة بين اليهود والمصريين. يوم حول العبرانيون ماء النيل إلى دم وأصابوا السمك بالوباء فلا شرب المصريون ولا أكلوا. ويوم اجتاحت جيوش الضفادع والبعوض والذباب شعب مصر بمثل ما نشهده اليوم من اختناق ملايين الطيور. ويوم ضربت الأوبئة كل الأبقار والأغنام بمثل ما تضرب حمى البقر اليوم شعوب العالم. ويوم قال الرب لموسى ودائما في العهد القديم: سأجلب الجراد غدا إلى مصر فيغطي الجراد وجه أرضها حتى لا يقدر أحد أن يراها، وسوف يملأ الجراد بيوت المصريين ويأكل أشجارهم ويقضي عليهم، بمثل ما يتهدد مصير العالم بالأمراض والأوبئة وعلى أيدي من؟ هذا هو السؤال وتلك هي المسألة كما في قول شكسبير. وإليكم مشاهدينا الجواب في هذه الحلقة من بلا رقيب، وهي بعنوان: بعد السيدة والجمرة الخبيثة وجنون البقر، إنفلونزا الطيور، اللغز المستور. أهلا وسهلا بكم. Fine. The first question is, it's predicted that the world's population will be 10 billion in the year 2050. The United States is worried about this figure. That's why it's planning to reduce the population of Asia and Africa. Do you agree with this opinion?
Well, not quite, because it's not in that way that the U.S. As a nation does see this as a problem, but there's a certain political faction of which representatives are in the U.S., but it's a global faction which is interested in reducing the world population rather dramatically. That's true, but it's not a typically or specifically U.S.-only problem.
But you know, in the war, by the war, United States is guiding lots of war. The Korean War in the 50s, the wars in Vietnam, the Philippines, Indonesia, Central America, also the Gulf, and recently the war in Afghanistan and Iraq. How they participate in reducing the population by doing war to especially to the Arab world, if you want to talk about the Arab world.
Well, I mean, it is no question that the type of imperial policy that Vice President Cheney, Defense Secretary Rumsfeld, and what is called the neocon group in the U.S. represents is a genocidal policy. There is no question about it. But remember, this is not just a policy that is represented by this part of the U.S. establishment. You have in Britain very strong supporters of this policy.
You are talking about the Bush administration, or the neocons are involved in this murderous policy. That's what you want to say.
Yes, and I think that's very clear that the Iraq war.
If we go back to the United States in its foundation, we can recognize that there is assassination of the Red Indians and other people, as if it adopted an extermination policy that killed millions of people throughout history. In your opinion, what lies behind this story or this policy? There is an aggressive background about the history of let's say in generally United States, and they are responsible, depends on which president or which period of government, they are responsible of many wars. Especially they didn't help in resolving the SIDA in Africa and the internal war, civil war in many African and Asian countries. What about the diseases, the anthrax, the birds flu, and other things? There is any comments from your? What did you read about? Did you read something important about United States and its? They are not helping in resolving this problem.
Well, you have to look at the African case in detail, and you're right. It's a disaster. The way the AIDS epidemic is decimating, that is genocide in Africa. There's no question. Other diseases are genocide. for example.
Killing by disease, and according to some analysis, it's easy for any country to spread diseases in another country. If you want to talk about the bird flu, it's reported that a sick doctor stayed in Metropole Hotel in Hong Kong. Consequently, all the residents got infected with this epidemic. Can we relate it to political reason and to this study or this memorandum of Kissinger? Is it a real fact of getting by Kissinger and his group the objective that they put this memorandum for?
Among these people at very high level, very cynical people, yes, there is the idea if disease spreads, that's good for population control. Or if there are wars, after all, that's good for population control. I give you one concrete example. At the height of the genocide in Rwanda in 1994, there was an editorial in the Wall Street Journal which said, well, unfortunately, people are dying. This war is bad, but after all, it reduces population.
Mr. Hoover, at the end, going back to our subject and directly about the bird flu, the American policy is manipulating also in the medicines. So or if we want to talk about the Donald Rumsfeld was probably a member in the board of Gilead, the company that produced Tamiflu, the medicament for bird flu. It's also said that the ex-U.S. Secretary of State George Shultz is a member also in the Gilead board. According to Fortune magazine, Gilead profits reach $7 million in 1 year. How do you comment on this?
Well, it is clearly true that for these diseases, there are means available to combat it. There is possible to produce medicine and help control these diseases. And there clearly are people in high positions controlling these companies who prevent this for their own personal corrupt motives. That's clearly true. And there's only one way about it. We have to change policy dramatically in those power centers in the world which would have the power to make sure that the necessary measures to control sicknesses are being taken. But it's a much broader problem and question than just individual cases of corruption.
الهولوكوست أو المحرقة حسب التعبير اليهودي تعني حرق الضحية حتى تتحول إلى رماد. ولم تتعرض قضية للتناقضات والأكاذيب أو المبالغات حول أرقام الضحايا مثل ما تعرضت له قضية المحرقة اليهودية، والتي قدر عدد الذين قضوا فيها في فيلم الليل والضباب للمخرج الفرنسي ألان روني ما بين 8 و9 ملايين نسمة، استنادا إلى أوراق ابتكرها اليهود. وتناقص العدد إلى 4 ملايين يهودي في تقرير الاتحاد السوفيتي لمحاكم نورنبرغ، وعاد وانخفض الرقم إلى 300 ألف ضحية عند المؤرخ البريطاني ديفيد آيرفينغ، وبلغ 50 ألفا فقط عند اليهودي راول هولبرغ. وفي خضم هذه التناقضات الإحصائية لضحايا الهولوكوست يتساءل المفكر الفرنسي روجيه جارودي عن كيفية بلوغ الحقيقة. ويروي كتاب صناعة الهولوكوست لمؤلفه الدكتور نورمان فينكلشتاين كيف حول يهود العالم قضية المعاناة اليهودية على يد النازية إلى تجارة سياسية وإيديولوجية لانتزاع الدعم لإسرائيل، وإلى مصدر للابتزاز الاقتصادي الذي حصد بفعله اليهود ومنظماتهم أموالا خيالية بذريعة ضحايا ما أسموها عمليات الإبادة النازية.